Oh, hey, I know a thing or two about red. Wine? No. Hair. And that has what to do with this episode? I don't know. I don't even know why anybody would call this color red to begin with. I certainly wouldn't want to drink wine that color. You did. You didn't like it. Erased from my memory banks. Good thing YouTube isn't forever or anything like that. Hey there, and welcome back to The Wine Fool. This week we're talking about red wine. For people who don't like red wine, or maybe you've been afraid to try it, or maybe you just haven't tried the right one. I don't remember my very first red. My wife introduced me to Cabernet Sauvignon fairly early in my drinking career, I guess. And I think I picked it up pretty quickly. I enjoyed how reliable each bottle seemed to be, especially if I was picking up a California cab. J. Lohr was a regular, Sterling Vineyards, Dark Horse, Bogle, Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. And trust me, I don't actually remember these off the top of my head. I had to look them up on my Vivino app. Those were reliable. I could go back to them year after year, and they pretty much tasted the same every year that I can remember. So let's take a look at 3 red options for someone looking to ease into red wine. Today we've got a Merlot, a Pinot Noir, and a Grenache, or Garnacha, because it's from Spain, Syrah blend. Now, my assumption is that these should all be fairly easy drinkers, Wine Fool level ones, but you never know. We might get surprised. Let's give them a shot. Merlot. So Merlot is often described as soft, smooth, and approachable. It has a milder taste with flavors of red fruits like cherry and plum. Lower tannins can make it seem less astringent and easier on the palate for those who are new to red wines. This is a California Merlot from Francis Coppola. It's 14.5% alcohol by volume. This is a fairly common label you're going to see liquor stores, wine shops, grocery stores, and I picked this up for $13. The label tells us the nose should be plums, currants, and anise, and flavors of blueberry pie.
Pie, huh? Uh-huh. McDonald's or homemade?
Cherries and toasted oak. Let's give it a try. Ooh. Ooh, okay, dark fruit right off the bat. A little bit of that oakiness to it. Not too much on the plums, currants, and anise. See, to me, anise is such a strong smell. Not really getting it. All right, let's give it a try. Not bad. Dry without heavy tannins. You're getting a little bit of that, mouth watering, so a little bit of acidity. Relatively light though. If you don't like dry, give this a shot, just because like I said, the tannins aren't what often people do is if it's dry and the tannins are high, it's almost like a double mouth punch.
Scott, if your life had a face, I would punch it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I like that. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. But the tannins are relatively soft, so it's you're getting some of that drying effect, but you're not getting sort of that kick of tannins, where you're really sucking the dryness out of or sucking the moisture out of your mouth. Blueberry pie, cherries I'm getting, toasted oak I'm getting. Blueberry pie is a stretch, Mr. Coppola. and I know you're not around anymore. Nice flavors. Wine Fool level 1, definitely not overly complex, approachable. Pinot Noir. Up next, we have a Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is known for its versatility and delicate flavor. It typically offers notes of red berries like strawberries and raspberries with subtle earthiness. Lighter body and lower tannin content make it a somewhat gentler introduction to red wine. This is the Ghost Pines California Pinot Noir. Per the label, 51% Sonoma County and 49% Yolo County. YOLO! 14.6% alcohol by volume, and this bottle was $17, which is the priciest wine that we're looking at today. Per the label, ripe fruit notes of dark cherry and pomegranate blend with layers of toast, vanilla, and spice to create a plush, velvety mouthfeel. In my next life, I'm going to write wine label descriptions. Let's give it a whirl. Not very fruit forward. What do we say? Dark cherry, pomegranate. So a little bit more on the nose with this one than the Merlot. Definitely getting those cherry notes. I think I've had enough pomegranate in my life, I guess. All right, let's give it a try. A scooch heavier tannin, just a scooch. And when I say heavier, I literally mean just a little bit. The tannins on the Merlot were very mild. These are still mild. It's probably actually a little bit less dry, which is kind of, I'm like, Pinot Noir to me doesn't scream dry. So it's nice. Again, not overly complicated. Nice fruit. Be nice cheese, some nice sharp cheddar. This would go really nicely with like a charcuterie board.
I want to go to a Broadway show. I want to eat a charcuterie board.
For somebody looking to sort of break into reds, this is a nice introduction. Nothing in particular is gonna, like, at least in my mind, is going to really like jump out at you as being, oh, it's really this, or oh, it's really that. It's kind of just an even keeled wine. Garnacha-Syrah. Garnacha or Grenache wines are often fruit forward and approachable. They feature flavors of ripe red berries and a touch of spice, usually meaning you're getting like a little peppery note on the end. Grenache tends to have lower acidity and softer tannins, making it easier to enjoy, I imagine, especially when slightly chilled. This is not slightly chilled. Anyway, this blend from Esteban Martin is 60% Grenache and 40% Syrah grapes. I couldn't find where I was at the time that I was buying this. I couldn't find Grenache only. We don't have the benefit of nose notes.
And now for something completely different. A man with a tape recorder up his nose.
Or tasting notes on the bottle. So I cheated a bit. And I went to the source of this big old 92, James Suckling himself. This shows aromas of ripe, fleshy plums. Oh, okay. Baking spices, dried citrus peel, and wet stones. Okay. Medium to full-bodied with delicious blue fruit, glossy tannins, and a creamy texture. Ripe and mellow, yet with fresh and crunchy character. What the
hell did you just say?
Man, that's a lot to live up to for a $9 bottle of wine. This thing's damn sexy. Let's see. Chilled. I wouldn't think of Syrah being chilled, like a Shiraz or a Syrah. We tried that, I think, last episode. We had a Syrah. I don't know. So maybe the blend, I don't know if you would, it's still majority Grenache. Ripe, fleshy plums. Dark fruit. A little bit of the spice, a little bit citrus peel. I don't know. It's a really great description. I'm not sold. Let's give it a try. All right. So, again, Grenache on its own. I said this might be a wild card, or maybe I didn't say it was going to be a wild card. In my mind, it was a wild card. My mind is a scary place to be. As an introductory wine, this starts to push the envelope because it's, you know, we had a video on characteristics. The dryness and the tannins compared to these, like, we're not talking Cabernet Sauvignon level, but if you're looking to make a leap from something that's in this territory, this is a nice step up. You don't have sort of the full on acidity and or tannins and dryness of a Cab Sav. So this is sort of a nice step up. I would put this, I'm still thinking that this is wine fool level 1, maybe a 2. It's a blend that of, you know, 2 somewhat not common grape varietals. You might have to dig around for this. Crunchy character. So the crunchy character is definitely the higher tannin level, a little bit drier. So I'm getting that like mouth drying effect. I still wouldn't push this into wine level 2. Yeah, it's an interesting blend. Grenache isn't sort of a normal, like, you know, most people, if they're going to name wines off the top of their head, they don't necessarily know Grenache. Heck, they don't even necessarily know Syrah or Shiraz, you know, or Garnacha. In terms of its drinkability, you know, it's got some interesting characteristics. Do these characteristics sort of push it into that next level where someone who hasn't tried a red, I guess if this is your first red, go with something like this. A Merlot, a Pinot Noir, kind of can't go wrong. Easy drinkers, you know, you're gonna be pretty happy with what you get. This is starting to take it up a little bit. Is it adventurous enough to be a wine fool level 2? For some people, maybe. Again, because it's sort of venturing into grapes that aren't the most common grapes. Sure, wine fool level 2. In general, though, I think the flavor profile, the taste profile is still kind of keeping at that level 1. It's not particularly dry. It's interesting, but it's an easy drinker. I'm gonna kind of go back and say I wouldn't put this at wine fool level 2. But getting back to the point, if you're looking for your first red, this probably isn't the one for you. Maybe this is your second red, if you liked one of these, you know, something that you can move on to. But enjoyable, and for, again, $9, not too shabby. Overly descriptive was James Suckling? Yes, but that's why he makes the big bucks. So here we had 3 great red wines, a good starting point for inexperienced wine drinkers. They offer approachable flavors, mild tannins for the most part across all 3, really, and generally smoother taste profile at a cost that certainly won't break the bank. You know, all 3 of these wines total were, you know, under $40. And by the way, they were all purchased at Costco. So just so you know. At the end of the day, you're going to like what you like. Don't forget that food can have a huge influence on how wine tastes. If you're, looking to try red wine for the first time, try it. Make sure you're trying it with something, a charcuterie board or something like that. It can have a huge impact on your approach to wine. I hope that maybe this tasting gives you some courage to be a little more foolish and try something different. You never know what your next favorite wine is going to be. Until next time, stay foolish and cheers to drinking better wine.